Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Take 5. It is Sunday, May 1st, 2011, and we are in Matthew 17, beginning of a new month, but we're going to finish a chapter today. Verse 22, as they were gathering in Galilee, Jesus said to them, "The Son of Man is about to be delivered into the hands of men, and they will kill him, and he will be raised on the third day." And they were greatly distressed. Now we're going to read a little more in a minute. But Jesus is again just telling them what's going to happen to him. By the way, this is the gospel. It's the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ. And he's foretelling it, that it's going to be happening. And even though he mentions that he's going to be raised, I don't think they really understood that. I don't think any time he told them that, they really got it. Because once he was actually crucified, they weren't waiting around the tomb. They didn't rush to see the tomb. Now, some of the women did, but they weren't doing it because they were expecting a resurrection. Oddly enough, the ones who suspected something might happen were his enemies. And that's why they ordered the stone to be placed on the tomb, because they thought something might happen, and I think maybe they considered the possibility he could be raised from the dead. But they thought the disciples might try to take the body or something like that. But they never really understood it. But Jesus is trying. He's trying to tell them that's what's going to happen, but they're just not getting it. But he still tries anyway, just like he tries to teach us things, and sometimes we don't get it, but he keeps trying over and over till we do. Now, something that's real easy to get, real practical lesson here. Verse 24. When they came to Capernaum, the collectors of the 2 drachma tax went up to Peter and said, "Does your teacher not pay the tax?" He said, "Yes." And when he came into the house, Jesus spoke to him first, saying, "What do you think, Simon? From whom do kings of the earth take toll or tax? From their sons or from others?" And when he said, "From others," Jesus said to him, "Then the sons are free. However, not to give offense to them, go to the sea and cast a hook and take the first fish that comes up. And when you open its mouth, you will find a shekel. Take that and give it to them for me and for yourself." Alright, they had some kind of tax going, just like we have taxes on all kinds of things nowadays. Well, they did too. They had all different kinds of taxes, and somebody came up and said, "Hey, you guys are a little bit late. You need to pay your taxes. Doesn't he pay his tax?" Peter says, "Yes," and I guess Peter wasn't really sure, so he wouldn't talk to Jesus about it. And Jesus said, "Alright, look. You know that kings don't make their sons pay taxes, right? You got that. Well, guess what? I'm the king of the whole world. So really, I shouldn't have to pay taxes." Now, Jesus had a point. But you know what Jesus did? He said, "Look, Peter, just to make them happy, pay your taxes. And I'll tell you what, I'll make it easy for you. You're a fisherman. Just go out there and just cast a line. Just get one fish. You don't need to go all the way back to fishing. We just need one fish, because in that fish there's going to be a coin, and that coin's going to be enough to pay the tax." Now, what's the main lesson I want you to learn today? The main lesson I want you to learn, and it's, believe it or not, it's a Bible lesson. You got to pay your taxes. All right? You know the old adage, 2 things are certain, death and taxes. Well, Jesus foretold his death, and he paid his taxes. All right? You're going to die. You can't avoid that. And you have to pay your taxes. Don't try to sneak around. Don't try to figure out a way to get around. Now, you can do everything legal to pay the least amount that's legal. I mean, that's fine if you want to do that. But don't try to avoid it. Do what Jesus did. Jesus didn't even have to. Kind of like when he got baptized. He didn't really have to do it, but he did it to fulfill our righteousness. Well, if Jesus could pay his taxes, you can pay your taxes. Told you this would be a very practical lesson. And I know we just had tax day, but we got all kinds of other taxes. Don't try to do shady deals under the table and stuff like that to avoid paying the tax. Now, if they have a sales tax free day, I know they have that sometimes before school starts and things like that. Well, that's fine. Go ahead and take advantage of that. But pay your taxes. All right? You got it? What you going to do? Pay your taxes. Thank you. You got to pay your taxes. Come back tomorrow for the next edition of Take 5.